Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Tuesday, April 12th, 2022. Boy, just when you think that the market's got it down here, they throw us for a big loop this morning. And I imagine that often that many of you that do tune in for my updates are wondering, what the heck was all of that this morning? So let's unpack some of that and let's take a look at where we are and what likely took place today. First of all, as I left it off yesterday, I felt that we were coming down in a sub-minute first wave. As you remember, what I was talking about is that this intermediate third wave, which this is where it started, was going to be big, was going to be deep, it was going to take some time to unfold, and was subdividing once, twice, three times. And this one was kind of up in the air as to whether that actually was a subdivision, because initially I had it up here. So and then when I took another look, it's like, well, this kind of kept going overnight, got down to 13,902, and then just kind of took off from there. Actually got down to, let's say, 902.75. Now, so this morning rolls around, and before the market opens, we get the CPI number. And it shows that inflation has actually gone up another 0.5%. It was coming in at 8.5% on a consumer level. No great surprise to us consumers, since we're the ones that are going to the grocery store, we're going to the gas, put gas in the cars, we're paying our utility bills, et cetera, et cetera. We know that inflation is real, and we know that it continues to climb. Nonetheless, the market's reaction was stunning to me. We have a higher reading of inflation, and the market decided to take that as it came in under what they thought. That's bullish. Like, okay. So the market ran. And from that 13,902 low, which wasn't just prior to the number, it actually was back above 14,000 by the time the number was released. But it did rally 285 to 300 points once that number came out. And then what happened once it reached its top? And let's just check out when that took place. Come on. Let's play nice. Come on. That took place at about, well, they're saying there, but I think it was wrong. Let me just kind of, oh, come on. Let's not start this today. Come on. I really don't get why my computer does this, but it's just going to keep on doing it. All right. So let me go down to the 30-minute chart and let's make this clear. So basically, this saying right at when the market prior to then the market opened, and it rallied up to 14,284. Then we had our opening. Then we had the next. Then we reached up to a secondary high at 14,277. And somebody rang the bell and said the top is in, and it just started to sell off. And we did have right at the 11 o'clock hour, we had a nice hour of rally and then just continued to go down. But when it finally did break at about 1:30, it started to break and it just went below where it started, below that low at 13,902, and below 13,900. Now, here's how I want to put that all together. You can already see the labeling. So here we have, I'm going to go back up to that hourly chart. Here we have intermediate wave 2, the start of intermediate wave 3, which will have 5 waves of minor degree. There's minor 1, there's minor 2. So it is from this point, 15,198, that we began the third wave down. Minor wave 3 of intermediate wave 3. It starts to subdivide. We have a minute wave 1, a minute wave 2 of minor 3. then it starts to subdivide again. So now I've marked this as sub-minute wave 1 and sub-minute wave 2. And it fit, and it covered that bizarre rally up on that number this morning. And then the result, or the end result of what happened for the balance of the day, totally fits, because if you remember, I continue to say what the market is building itself up to with the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 is falling off a cliff. Here we got to this 1, 2, it fell off the cliff, kind of came back, but fell off the cliff. It's kept going. Here again, we're falling off the cliff. So what do I expect? Still, we got the 2, it came in, we went down, we broke to a new low, which tells me that the larger third wave still in force. Next, we're likely going to be heading into this level. But now we can start to add some Fibonacci. So I'm going to start with the minute third. What can we expect from minute 3? So that would take that we go cover minute 1, and then we go up to minute 2. Come on, get down to our columns. Thank you. And then we have our extensions for minute 3. Again, third waves, the longest and the strongest, and that goes all the way up. If I'm expecting intermediate wave 3 to be the longest and the strongest, and I'm just going to show you, I'm going to go up to that daily, intermediate wave 1 is down here at 12,942.50. Intermediate wave 3 is going to break 12,009, what was it, 942. It's going to break that on its way down. So back to my hourly. Let's check out. Again, third waves, longest, strongest, can create the most damage, and subdivide. Subdivide like crazy. And that's what we're seeing. The third of the third of the third. So we're in sub-minute wave 3, of minute wave 3, of minor wave 3, of intermediate wave 3. So we got all the 3s lined up. So when I keep talking about falling off a cliff, this is what I'm talking about. It started today, caught a lot of people off guard. Unless you were kind of talking that, okay, it's a 1 and a 2, we're going to fall off that cliff, start to fall off. But guess what happens? As we fall, it picks up momentum. It's kind of like starting with a little fist-shaped snowball at the top of a mountain, putting it down and letting it roll, and you've got 11,000 feet straight down to cover, for example. That snowball is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until when it rolls over, it's just going to take everything right with it. So what we call an avalanche of sellers. So what I am anticipating, and again, we're going to come down, go up, come down, go, everything's going to be slide, recovery, slide, recovery, slide, recovery, correction, whatever we want to call it. But I think our next step is 13,763. That's the next support. This is that inside larger support for the intermediate third wave. It may provide a pause just because it sits there as a number, but these are the more important because these are directly to the minute third wave. And in all honesty, I could kind of put, let's just do it for the example. I'm going to put another one in, which covers us on the sub-minute wave. And then now we're looking to see where we get some layover. So here we have this level, that's for the minute. These inside level, that's for the sub-minute. Where's this all leading to? Well, we have sub-minute wave 3 being 1.618. And that's of that wave 1, and that's the comparison. That's the relationship. Wave 3 related to wave 1. Often, we're going to come in greater than 100%. Wave 3 would equal 100% of wave 1 at 13,528, 529. We keep dropping down. We have the minute wave 3 equaling 1.618 times the length of minute wave 1 at 13,028. Is it? What is this level? 218, 219. Now, we have of the subminute wave 3, 382 is 138, 240, 13,240. But its 618 is 13,062. So we can still, work these things out that our zone to complete, minute 3, subminute 3, seems to tell around 13,218 down to 13,062. So we have 13,218, 19, all the way down to 13,062. That's going to be the zone that'll complete the subminute wave 3, minute wave 3, and then we get fourth waves. Now, subminute wave 3 could come down and get us maybe into here. We do a 4, and the 5 brings us down to 13,218. It does not necessarily have to go to 13,061. It could, but I would suspect that that's where the whole thing ends. So we get we get this down, a little bounce in the down. Then we're talking wave 3 can finish here. Minute wave 3, get a minute 4. We come back out. We come back down. Now we're looking for where does minor wave 3 come in to finish up. And that, again, because it was such a short wave up here, it just doesn't, the numbers don't jive. But I'd be looking for minor 3 to finish up about probably like between 12,882 down to 12,545 in that area. But intermediate wave 3 would just equal intermediate wave 1 at 11,438. I'm already thinking, nah, not going to happen. 9,070. Remember, we've gone over this number before for intermediate wave 3. Now, that doesn't suggest that the subminute wave 3 and the minute wave 3 and the minor wave 3 will all finish up there. No, they're going to finish up 3, then you get a 4 and a 5 on a minor. We have in the minute degree, we have minute 3 followed by minute 4, minute 5. On the subminute, same deal. Minute 3, subminute wave 3, subminute wave 4, subminute wave 5. But where they all started to kind of come in, I believe they'll cluster much lower and get us into here. So that's the story for today. I do think we should continue to see downside, but I said that yesterday, woke up this morning, came in, I was like, what are they doing? Stand back, let it work itself out. By all means, continue to trade it because it was a straight up shot. It was pure money-making affair. And then it pretty much came down with the same intensity, money-making. Don't get caught on why is the market going up? Why are they buying it, et cetera, et cetera. Didn't make any sense when we figured it out. So you got to go with what your Elliott's telling you. You got to go with what your fibs are going to tell you. And that said that the downside will continue as it is doing. So don't get caught up in that. Both sides were extremely playable. The run up and the run down and the continued drop was extremely playable. So much so that when we get the volatility increasing, also remember, I've been talking about, we get the volatility increasing to the downside. When we get those bounces, they're going to be more volatile than normal. They're going to push higher or lower, depending on what direction that correction is going, than you would likely expect. So when we bear that all in mind, it was easy to come up with 1, 2, and now we're again falling off the cliff. This was falling off a cliff. Now we're falling off another cliff. So we fell off, we hit the bottom, we bounced, and now we're rolling back off the cliff to the next ledge, so to speak. So I am looking for continued downside. Undoubtedly, the rally that we got off of that 13,881 low was powerful. In fact, I believe that it may have taken us almost. We hit that, and then we got us back up to 13,977 from 881 to 977. Almost 100 points. Pretty strong rally. Then they brought it down, then they brought it up. So we'll see how they want to come out of all of this and what they want to do. And then we'll kind of go from there. But we may see a little bit of additional upside as Globex begins. But I would be looking for additional, very much so, excuse me on that one, folks. I would be looking for it to come down and get into our next clusters of support. Again, end of wave 3, we get a 4 and then a 5. End of wave 3, we get a 4 and a 5, etc. So we have many series of 4s and 5s to come. We finish 3, we get a 4 and a 5, of 3, 4 and a 5, of 3, 4 and a 5, of the intermediate 3. So we still got a lot of unfolding and unpacking to do to get this intermediate third wave complete. That's where I'm going to leave it. Continue to trade smart. Use those moving averages. They are, again, in alignment on my 30-minute chart. Let's just do a quick review on the hourly. Yep, you see. There's the 200, there's the 50, there's the 20, there's the 8, and there's the 4. Let's take a peek at the daily, and I may have to take some of this stuff off. Let's see if I can get some of this off. Remove that drawing. Remove that drawing. Yeah, I can see it. So you can see here's the 200. Now, remember, they needed to break below. This is the daily chart. The 4, the 8, and the 20 have all broken below the 50. And we got some nice acceleration off of that. So everything is lining up now, even from the daily on down, for a continued decline. So the analysis is getting support and still looks good. Our next update will be on Wednesday,